Good evening and welcome to the nighttime heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed on a radio Gegeman, that is in Nimba County, Radio Kwatika in Bon County, and of course, Radio Wulagisi in Lofa County. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and a YouTube channel. That is the Nighttime Heat Facebook and YouTube channel. You want to follow to share the show? Just tap Nighttime Heat. As soon as you do that, you follow the show and then you share the show as well. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Like I said, again, just tap Nighttime Heat. After you do so, you subscribe. If you want to continuously receive a notification, just make sure that you hit the notification bell so that anytime the show comes on, you are aware that the show is on. We are also streaming live on our Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We want you to share tonight's show. It promises to be very, very interesting and intriguing. Please share the show wherever you are in the diaspora, locally, nationally, in the county, in the rural parts. Make sure you share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also, be in the know, be in the loop of what is happening tonight. Well, tonight promises to be very, very interesting. The debate continues to widen, and the debate about who replaces the fallen minister of state. Yes, though he has not been buried, but the debate continues. In fact, we are hearing a couple of names, and so we'll be hearing from you when our guests come. We'll make sure to discuss that as well. Again, today we heard that the court has reversed the eviction order of the Congress for Democratic Change headquarters. How true is it? Well, we'll be looking at that as well tonight. So don't go away because I'm right here. And of course, my producers are here as well. My panelist, Moses Sandy, he said to me, due to some heavy workload, you'll not be able to join us tonight. But I'm expecting George Kennedy, and together we'll make sure to sail the ship of things tonight. We'll be right back after the scene. Don't go away.
0. Let's start.
Yes, indeed. We are starting the show, and of course, we are here. One of my panelists, George Kennedy, just walked in. We'll be having a very nice show tonight. And of course, our guest will be joining us. That is Isedi, for us to look at those two major topics, two major discussion points tonight. And also, you following and watching, we're hoping that you can join us as well to follow. Well, tonight, before then, let me just welcome George Kennedy quickly to the program. They're trying to set Josh. Okay. Josh, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sava, and good evening to the people of Liberia. My appreciation to you and our technical team and the general public for listening.
Okay, that's good. Today, the government of Liberia responded, or in another word, partially responded to the U.S. human rights report on Liberia. And of course, we have the press statement here. I will be reading it out so that if you didn't listen or you didn't know about days. You can get the information from right here on the nighttime heat, and of course, going to discuss it as well. And then also, we heard that the citizens of Ganta Nimakani joined the Say No to Drugs campaign. And the city mayor and others marched through the principal streets of Ganta today, and also set ablaze a huge number of ghettos. So we'll talk about that. But let me try to first read what the government released on the latest report, the latest human rights report that was released recently. The government of Liberia notes the release of the United States of America's 2024 Human Rights Report on Liberia issued by the State Department. The GOL has noted the issues raised in the report and will conduct a review and analysis of the contents of the report. Accordingly, the relevant sector institutions of the Liberian government are mandated to conduct a comprehensive and thorough review of the report and subsequently advise the government to inform further response to the State Department 2024 Human Rights Report. As a signatory to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Republic of Liberia and government take human rights matters seriously and will always act to uphold the basic principles of human rights at all times. The government appreciates the gains it has made since January 2024 to improve overall governance issues, including the protection of human rights. And of course, this press statement was signed by Jeremiah Mafipia. He's the Minister of Information. And that was the government's initial report. What's your take regarding that, George?
Mature. That's maturity. In the past, we used to listen to some government officials' response, especially the Ministry of Information, respond to the U.S. State Department report as some of them were very combative. But this is the beginning of sober reflection. The government is taking responsibility. The government is going back to say, look, we are going to engage the sector institutions responsible to ensure that what the report says is verified in those sectors. And I mean, they're going to ensure that whatever wrong that may be going in those places, they're going to correct them. That's mature response. I mean, I feel that, I want to give this to Honorable Pia. And as we usually said, we are here, hoping. We are here to say the truth, to be balanced. That statement is good in my view, and I think the relevant. In fact, the president started it by calling on the Ministry of Justice and other key sectors of government to look at it critically and then report back to him for further action. This is good.
Yes, I think. Let me join you. I think the report or the initial response of the Liberian government it's something in the right direction, and it should be welcoming. Again, the government was not dismissive of the issues raised in the report. The government said that it will do a review and an analysis of those issues.
Yeah.
And in fact, the government also mandated all those institutions that were also whose issues were listed, to also do analysis and further inform the government as to where and what should be contained in the government's response. But the government also noted that it takes the issue of human rights very seriously.
Yeah.
And I think the press statement released by the Ministry of Information on behalf of the government was timely,
Yeah.
and it didn't, aggressively dismiss the issues raised. And I think it was, the statement by the government, it's mature, it's a mature statement. It just, it shows to the world that, the government is not in the business of trying to combat or just dismiss issues when people raise those issues against the government. The government didn't come up to say, well, those issues are all fallacies, but the government said, well, we're going to look at what you've raised, and then, we've also asked our sector, institutions, ministries to also look at the report and further inform us on how we can well carve, an official response to that. So that was just a partial response, from the government. I think this response was perfectly. This press release was perfectly put together by the team at the Ministry of Information. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
And of course,
I want to appreciate the U.S. government, the State Department. You see, as a government and people, we've made mistakes in the past and continue treading on the mistakes. I said the other day when this report came, there are certain lines in those reports, in that particular report, that have been there since 1980. Arbitrary arrests, pre-trial detention, and, police brutality, and, this.
And those are all perennial
issues that remain in Liberia since the 80s, since I know it myself. So I think the government needs to work now to see about this particular government need to change the narrative to try to reform the judiciary, reform other institutions.
Judicial reform. We need that.
This issue of pre-trial detention, delay in trying criminals or whatsoever accused criminals is, and that's what. Let's work it out. We can succeed.
We can succeed. And like you said, hoping that the government can begin, working on judicial reform, because the issue of pre-trial detainees is something, that's been that's been an old age issue. Every administration comes in, even the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was also saddled with that. Likewise, the administration of George Weah was also saddled with that. So, those are all age-old issues. We're hoping that the president, President Joseph Yuma Boakai and his team can look into that. Under the watchful eyes of the Minister of Justice, Oswald Tuer, to find an amicable solution to that. Let's talk about the issue that also happened today in Ganta. Let me try to read his statement quickly. Ganta officials: citizens Jordan say no to drugs parade target ghettos. That's good. As part of the Say No to Drugs anti-drug awareness parade in Ganta on Friday, the mayor of Gompa, Samuel C. Hart, and the chairman of the Gompa Business Association, Prince Howard, joined the citizens along with the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, the LDA, and the Liberia National Police, the LNP commanders, in a series of anti-drug actions. The team visited several well-known ghettos in the city to sensitize drug users and abusers about the dangers of narcotics, full stop. During the operation, multiple ghettos and hideouts were dismantled and burned as officials urged disadvantaged youth to leave the streets and return home. Speaking during the exercise, organizers lamented that drug abuse has become a nightmare, destroying an entire generation. They called for a holistic approach, urging all citizens to join the fight against harmful substances. Yes.
I support that with a caution. I don't want arbitrary citizens' action. I want the citizens to act in conformity with the laws. I appeal to the citizens. Look, we cannot win this war on drugs without the total involvement of the communities, the ordinary people. But where my problem would be is where we start taking the laws into our hands. Like, for example, we're going to burn places. Sometimes we may see some of the accused, the alleged perpetrators.
Mhm.
Some people may want to take some arbitrary actions against them that may not go well in the face of the law.
Mhm.
I want us always to get law enforcement officers involved as we move into to effect these actions. Under our law, there is a provision for citizens' arrest. You can see someone committing a crime, you can arrest him and call law enforcement officer.
Mhm.
That's citizens' arrest. So it's necessary. I feel that this particular issue, once we don't step in strongly, the state security is not going to be successful. And I support that. I know Prince Howard very well, the head of the Business Association association in Ghana. I've been knowing him for years now.
Mhm.
He's a very disciplined, he's a very strong business guy. He's young and very, very organized. So I appreciate him and his team for joining the fight against illicit drugs. And I want to again appeal to our people across the country.
Mhm.
When we see the area, let's get the national security involved to ensure that we win the war against this particular menace in our society.
Yes, I think I agree with you also. What the communities have begun doing, it's welcoming, like joining the national government's effort, because the issue of drugs is everybody's business. All of us are somehow connected and affected. For me, I'm affected. Got mine as well. Who's involved with that. So all of us, and one thing are hoping that the government can look at very seriously is the issue of the whistleblower. Especially those in the communities, because if you begin to give people something lump sum, something substantive or appreciative, I'm sure we have a couple of individuals who will be in the community that will brave themselves to come up to say, look, John Brown or Peter Paul is involved with the sales of narcotics. So we're hoping that the government can begin ensuring that the issue of the whistleblower and the benefits that comes with that, the compensation is something huge and appreciative, so that we can have more whistleblowers in the communities. But it's good. In fact, the other day we heard about citizens in Sinca who went on the arrested a couple of abusers and dealers as well, and hand them over to the police or the DA. We're hoping that other communities can join that, because this thing is affecting our kids. It's affecting the youth, our generation. Those are people who supposed to take over from us. Sure. We heard about the deaths of three presidents.
Yes.
Again,
one survived.
One survived. Can you imagine that? Yeah. So it's gradually wiping up our generation, our future generation. So we need to really do something. And then I heard the deputy at the DEA today. I tried calling the DEA boss, thinking what I could get him, but I'm sure we'll get him next week. He's under the weather; he's not feeling too well. But the deputy who came up to say that some of the dealers are in the executives, are in the legislature, the judicial. I think he needs to come out with the names, with the identity. Because if we continue to shield people, we continue to protect people, continue to hurt people, we're not get anywhere with the fight against drugs. So we're hoping that wherever he is, I understand from Senator Darius Dillon, he wrote a post that upon their return from vacation, they're going to invite him. I think when he appears there, I want to urge him to reveal the names. We want to know people who are the dealers, who are responsible for the deaths and the way our young people are being affected. We want to know those people, and then the law, it's applied against them.
Sure. And I support him appearing, but I didn't want him appear at the Senate chambers on first hand. I'm appealing to the Senate or the legislature. You can try reaching out to this guy. You understand?
Yeah.
There are some people that will be free to say, a lot of things. When they meet behind the scene, they will be able to disclose a lot of, because that guy, he's not an ordinary person.
Yeah, surely.
He's fighting against the drugs in the country, and he has seen, knowing what he knows, and seeing what he has seen, and he knows what he's saying. So I know I can imagine those who are dealing. I can imagine the kind of political pressure that he may be ongoing right now.
Yeah, sure.
But we want to appeal to him. Stand for your country. Forget about the job. If someone threatening you a job, that job can go today. Your country survive, and the same country can be able to elevate you.
Sure.
I want you to come out
and name those
name
people.
them.
Yeah,
Name them for the
them.
sake of the country.
Yeah, for the sake of
because,
the country.
We have to fight this thing and end it, because we know, because of where you sit, you have information, you have records, you may have even data.
Yeah,
you know. So if you tell the public, probably you're trying to fight from within, you're not getting the kind of traction that you need, the kind of support that you need, and you decided to come up openly. So don't be afraid. We are appealing to you on behalf of the Liberian people, the sake of this country, the young people that are dying every day.
Yeah, surely.
Please come out.
Come out.
Say it. Call their names, and you remove that burden from on yourself.
Yeah,
and the
surely.
Liberian people, so can know, so the state can know what to do. This government, as an institution, is not in support of such. We know that certain individuals may be involved, but as it's not a state sponsor,
it's not something government has sanctioned.
Yeah.
But the thing is, before this government came to power, that was one of the major campaign, promises. So I know if those who are the dealers and are in government, out of the executive or the judiciary or the legislature, I'm sure the law will be applied against them.
Sure.
So we want to urge the deputy DA boss to come out, name and shame those people. Say, look, we are aware you were caught before,
Sure.
and you beg that will release you. So you are part of the whole drug cartels, because this is a major cartel, and those people are people who got the monies, and also our laws need to be strengthened again. Like someone was saying, if necessary, the person is caught with the narcotics, the sale of the narcotics, and he's or he or she is paraded through the legal process. The person is found guilty. Let them go to jail for 25 years. Maybe that will help.
I think
50 years rather.
Yes, I love. I mean, Senator DeLong, can say he said it all the time that you got strong drug laws. The problem we have is enforcement. Enforcement that we always talk about has the other components: resources, manpower, and a lot of other trained manpower. Rather, and, when we say manpower, I mean trained manpower to do the job. The DEA is still challenged with manpower and training. How to call it, logistics.
Yeah, surely.
Okay, even the Liberia National Police is still challenged with manpower and logistics. So these things are needed to assist the government in enforcement. So we encourage the government. Right now, this is a national crisis.
It's an emergency.
So it's good for us to focus our attention on saving the lives of our young people.
Surely.
While we're doing other very important things.
Okay.
We save our young people's lives and our country's future.
Okay. Let's try to take a few calls from a few of our listeners. 0778460793. We've been talking about the issue of the say no to drugs. We've been talking about that. The people of Ganta, Nima County today joined the say no to drugs campaign. In fact, they dismantled, we understand, multiple ghettos, because they believe and also urge the users to go back home and reunite with their families. We've also been talking about the issue of okay, at 8:30 we'll be talking about the Wahala, the CDC Wahala. We'll talk about that with our guests. We'll also talk about who replaces, because the debate continues to widen as to who replaces the fallen statesman. 0778-469-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793, or better still 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987. Where do you stand? We've been talking about two major issues. We want to get your take on those issues. before we get into further discussions regarding the major topics I will also be talking about tonight. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. 0886-540-987. That's the two numbers you can call, and then you'll be part of the nighttime heat tonight. 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. We want to hear from you. Communities are joining the fight against drugs. They are in the campaign, say no to drugs. In fact, the community in the people of Ganta today demonstrated that they dismantled and burned several ghettos. Where do you stand in your community? How do you think we can strengthen the fight against drugs abuse? 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. Again, 0778-460-793. And then we'll also talk about the government's partial response to the latest U.S. State Department report. The government said, well, we noted what you said in your report. We're going to conduct a review and analysis of those issues that you raised, and then we want to know. But again, we noted. I want you to know rather that we take the issue of human rights very, very seriously. And then that was contained in the government's press statement. Again, 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. That's the number to call and to alive on the nighttime heat. Again, 0886-540-987, or better still, 0778-460-793. But tonight, like I said, we'll be looking at the CDC Wahala. What's happening? Is it what does it show on a part of our political institutions, especially they take state power, and at the end of the day, they are evicted. Let's see the first call on the line quickly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay. Quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Josh. Let me appreciate this. So I'm Joseph Freeman from Broadville.
Okay.
Thank you. The issue of about drugs, I think we need to be very serious. It's not only the government, because one way or the other, directly or indirectly, you are affected. It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also affected. I got one of my little brothers in the street now. I got my uncle's son in the street. So one way or the other, we must not say government get equipment, government will do the one, government will do the one. The president's not in that gray area. They don't not in that gray area. The vice president not there. The representative that are not in that gray area. Trust me, it is you and myself. On a serious note, when the former vice president's son, Philip Taylor, was taking that tea, you saw what happened. The woman went for her son, treat her son, send her son to America, stay out there, the flushing, the Kimba. He want a good person in society now, Philip Taylor. That you and myself, we couldn't afford to go through that process. So I think all of the people who taking drugs, living in the gray area, living in the ghetto, they came from somewhere. Ganta had taken the lead. We must take the C lead. Bars will require bar medicine. When I said I would be pinpointing the people, gave them milk, gave them death, the children die. I will look at Joseph Freeman, will look at my friend, will die from what you call drugs. They are leave my home because I don't want to work, I don't want to sweep, I don't want to wash dishes, I don't want to wash my own clothes. They want my man talking or my pa talking, they are join that behind my friends there. I go smoke because I don't want to. When you join that, the problem you scared of, you get more outside there than even when you eat. So we must treat the drugs with strong hand. We will not be sometimes we do it the way Ganta do so. Ganta just took the lead. Maybe other community will follow. Just watch and see. Bars will require bar medicine.
Okay. Many thanks. 0778-460-793. Let's take three more calls, and then we'll make sure to join our guests as soon as they join us. 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987, or 0778-460-793. You heard the first caller. You said, well, this thing, all of us should be involved with the fight, and not just the government alone.
Sure. Sure. He's right. That's the same thing we've been saying here.
Let's take this caller first. Let's take this caller and they'll come back. Good evening. Good evening. Hello? Hello? Okay, the caller is off. 07784607993, or better still 0886540987. Good evening.
Yeah, Mr. George.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yes, I'm Jefferson. I call from Clarendon.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for the talking point tonight. You know, I'm one person that strongly believe that the government's response to the State Department report is not in good faith. The reason is just simple. All of those issues that the State Department raised in its report are glaring reality that require no further investigation before comment or before the comment is. So if you say that you review those things, these are evidence, these are things that people pointed out. And everyone in Liberia knows exactly that those things are truly happening, especially when it comes to the issue of torture, extrajudicial killing. Those were things that people pointed out. For instance, the issue of the King George situation, when those five people were allegedly shot by the police.
But let me help you. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Now, the government didn't say those things didn't happen. The government said, look, we're going to ensure that our institutions are mandated to review, to look at what the report is saying, and then inform the government on the official response. So not that the government dismissed what the people said, but the government is saying, look, we note what you've said, we've taken note. Mm-hmm.
The government said in a response that they are going to review. To review means you want to look at to people, to make some judgment, whether to find out whether some of those things are true or they are not. What I'm trying to say is, what I expect the government to have come over was to realize that yes, we acknowledge the issue that raised, and we work, we see how we can change.
But there's a similar thing. That's a similar thing. I'm coming. Hello. At the latter part of the press statement, the government said, we note what you've said, and also we take seriously the issue of human rights violations. So it means that the government is aware, and the government is going to take the appropriate actions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so, all right. Many thanks.
Many
thanks. Let's take another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Good evening, Saba.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Good evening to your panelists or your guests.
Okay.
I would like to quickly talk on two things. One is the issue of the drug epidemic in our country, and two, to where your caller just ended with the issue of the State Department report.
Okay.
You know, Slava, let us be candid around here. Thank God that the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world, have their eyes all over the world looking for where human rights violations have been done. That is good. How many of us have ever seen the human rights report for the great country called the United States? That's hypocrisy. This is the 21st century. We sit and see what happens in their own backyard. Somebody talks about press censorship. Can journalists just walk in the White House to go and interview President Trump?
No, it's not possible.
It's not possible. So so our people should sit and keenly look at what these people are doing. These are all empty propaganda.
Okay.
All right. You sit there, you see a government that's talking about freedom, people's right or so, putting people on chain, migrants on chain, in flight, putting them in concentration camps. And nobody cares. But when it comes to Africa, oh no, human rights abuse, violations of XYZ or so. That's bull craps.
Okay.
Quickly to the issue of drugs. Let me say this. It's going to be difficult for any government in Liberia to fight drugs if, and I will say this, if the president or this government does not get the military involved to help fight drugs, we should forget about it. Slobo. We have over 200 inland borders, crossing points. Less than 50% of those borders are manned. And you and I know that during the dry season, or even now, some of these areas, you can just walk across from one point to another. No immigration officer, no police. And even where immigration officers and police are, these people are poorly paid. And then we talked about the sea, the entry agent from the ocean. We have a huge coastline. How many times we see people patrolling those areas? But if you equip your military with patrol boats, gun boats, and they can move from point to point, we'll be able to curtail some of these things.
Okay.
And then also, the military have to move in the communities with the DEA guys to make sure they close down these ghettos.
Okay.
If not, we're going to lose that war.
Many thanks. Many thanks. Many thanks. Really appreciate it. Let's take two more calls and wrap it up. 0778 460 793, or better still, 0886 540 987, 0778 460 793, or better still, 0886 0886 540 987. We've been talking about two issues. I know very shortly when our guests join us, will be further discussing. But first, we've been talking about the issue of the action taken today by the people of Ganta, Nima County. They held a major parade through the streets, and of course, this dismantled multiple ghettos and also sensitized the younger people who are on drugs to return home. That was welcoming today. We also talk about the issue of the government initial response. The government said, well, we noted what you've said in your report, U.S. United States. We noted what you said, and of course, we also mandated our people to do a critical review and allow us to know exactly what we are, so that we can do our official response. I think that statement made by the government was welcoming. We take two more calls and we'll wrap it up quickly. 0778 460 793, or better still, 0886 540 987. As soon as our guests arrive, we'll make sure to start the ball rolling. 0778 460 793, or better still, 0886 540 987. That's the numbers to call, and you are live. Well, you listen to the callers, George.
Yeah, that's just what I was saying, especially the last caller. Just make just said the right thing when I was talking about logistical support and manpower.
Yeah,
that's exactly where his honor scored. I agree. We need the military to get involved. Do they have does the Coast Guard have boats, military boats, and other things? To protect our coastlines, to patrol our coastlines. The police, do they have the kind of logistical support equipment and other things to move in the hinterlands? We are in Monrovia. When in Monrovia is in police officers every day, you should be thankful to God. Mm-hmm. But there are other parts of the country where before you see police officer, you got to go long distance before you see a police officer. So don't see Monrovia the way Monrovia looking. You see it as the same way it's looking in Grand Crew or other places.
Yeah, sure.
So you need manpower in those places, manpower presence. Well, he also underscored the issue of salaries, good incentives for the force.
Yeah,
these are things that are needed. So that's why we are appealing to the government to look at these directions, make sure that we support our officers, while our communities now are motivated enough to help the state security or the joint security fight these menaces in our society. The state also should be prepared now to get a kind of support to our uniform officers to move in there to augment the work that the communities are doing to fight drugs.
Okay.
So yeah. So
you're listening to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. We are relaying on Radio Gegema, Radio Kwatika, Radio Wologisi. We are also streaming live on our YouTube and Facebook page. We are also streaming live on the Prime FM Monrovia Facebook page as well. Okay, let me read this statement before I can join Okay, let me leave this. Let me join a guest because some of them have been on already. Mr. Oliver Wisse. Mr. Wisse is a Liberian educator. He's based in, he's across the country. He's been our good friend. He always joining the, the national discussion. We also have Reverend Chris Tolls, Reverend Dr. Chris Tolls to be joining us any moment from now.
I thought
Okay,
he
he
was
has
in
joined us.
Nairobi.
No, he's in country. Yeah,
Okay, that's great.
I'm sure he should be in the country. He has joined us already. Okay, Anthony Alor Musa Kane has also joined us. So welcome our guest quickly, George, so we can start the ball rolling.
Good evening. I want to welcome you, gentlemen, Dr. To, Mr. Wisse, and Anthony Alor, my former Secretary General of the Press Union of Liberia, Honorable Kane. You are welcome. And it is our hope that, we all will discuss the future of this country, that we will share our ideas on how we can move our country forward. Thank you so much. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Reverend Dr. To, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Saba.
Okay. Let me read a statement quickly. I'm sure it just came in 50 minutes ago. President Boyka to lead high-level delegation to Japan. Executive Mansion. President Joseph Boyka will depart the country on Saturday, August 16, 2025, to attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, scheduled for August 16th to the 23rd, 2025 in Yokohama, Japan, and Export 2025 in Osaka, also in Japan. The forum is a premier forum co-organized by the government of Japan, the United Nations, the World Bank, and the African Union Commission to foster high-level policy dialogue on African development, trade, investment, and global partnership. While in Japan, President Boyka was also engaged in strategic meetings at Expo 2025 to showcase Liberia's development vision and explore bilateral and multilateral cooperation opportunities. The president will be accompanied by a high-level delegation comprising senior government officials, lawmakers, ambassadors, and business leaders, including number one, Honorable Sarah Besoyanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Augustine Pehi-Gafwan, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Honorable Magdalene Ellen Dagosa, Minister of Commerce and Industry, Honorable Wilmon J. M. Pei, Minister of Mines and Energy, Dr. J. Alexander Nuta, Minister of Agriculture, Jeremy Mafi Pia, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Honorable Dr. Jasu Malik Jala, Minister of Education, Honorable Dr. Louis Mpoto, Minister of Health, Birmingham Horace Colley, Honorable Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Abraham Darius Dillon, Senator and Chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Neki E. Gay, Representative and Chairman, House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Samuel Steve Quia, Minister of State with a portfolio, special services. The list just is there.
Yeah,
It's still continuing. I can't call everybody, but no, those are the individuals traveling with the president. So, gentlemen, again, welcome. Let's first talk about the issue of the CDC Wahala, and then we can talk about who replaces the fallen Minister of State. And so let me begin with you, Anthony Alor. Musa Khan, a journalist as well. What is your take? What's your reading? You've been in the court there. You've been following the Rickma Road, the court proceedings. Cases from the lower to the Supreme Court. This whole CDC Wahala. What are you reading from that, Mr. Khan?
All right, thank you so much for the invite today. Thank you for not joining the last time. I have some unfortunate situation. Mr. Kennedy, how you doing? Long time, Chief.
I'm fine, Mr. SG. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. The situation with the Congress for Democratic Change. Firstly, I want to say something before I go. Since 2005, we've had two political parties as president that have taken power in Liberia. One, the United Party, first for 12 years. CDC was 6 years in the United Party. But one thing is sure, the partisans of the two parties have benefited from the party, but the party itself is yet to benefit from everything it's doing for the partisans of the party. That is to say, 12 years of United Party going another years to 18, they do not have a political party headquarters for themselves. I mean, they are not prepared to have an institution that will last forever. I think they should start to do same now. The CDC also have failed to do same. And these are the two parties that we all other political parties should look up to. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's unfair to the party itself. All of it is benefiting, and the party itself is not benefiting from the victory that it's giving you. That's just the first point I want to raise before going to the main issue. The case with the CDC headquarters, it has been a legal issue before between family members. Again, the CDC is not part of the court case previously. There's a law in Liberia that covers the doctrine of survivorship. If we are married and then we get a property jointly, survivor take it all. Mm-hmm. But again, there are exceptions to the law, and there are other issues. So based on that, it went to the lower court rule for one party based on the doctrine of survivorship, and then giving order for the CDC to be removed. But today, the Supreme Court revised that decision. I've not fully read the Supreme Court opinion. I saw the summary, but the summary cannot properly explain exactly what were the rationale being considered by the Supreme Court. So obviously, I'm not going to speak to the substance of that because I've not read the Supreme Court opinion that was handed down today. A friend of mine has promised to put text to me. Probably
okay.
I'll be able to get it tonight and read it later. That's the first aspect. The second aspect of the city issue is that the first right of purchase should be with the CDC because they've been in the area and they've engaged. But my understanding is the property owners are saying for the CDC to buy it is 4 million, 4.5 million. And then for the church that want to buy it and others, they can pay 2.5 million. So that's a huge difference there, and that's a discussion. But again, if I have my property, I decide who I want to sell it to.
Okay, let's hold you there and hear from Mr. Oliver Weiser. Mr. Weiser, what are you making up? What are you reading from this whole CDC headquarters wahala? Mr. Weiser? It seems like he's muted. Okay.
He's back.
Mr. Weiser? Okay, it seems like he's muted. Rabin, let's hear from you. Yeah, but again, I think you have to go, lock out and come back. You have to lock out and come back. Rabin, let's hear from you.
Hello.
Yes. Let's hear from you quickly. What is it that?
Yeah, how you doing? Okay, I'm back. I'm back again. Thank you very much.
Okay. what is it that your institution and you reading from this whole CDC Wahala? This is something that's been ongoing. What does it show of our political
Okay.
institution?
Thank you. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Saba. And I appreciate this call. However, with regard to this whole issue about the CDC headquarters and the issue of the matter being shifting here and there, moving on the court procedures and other things like that. And I think it's a matter that the CDC and whoever that is involved, I think they from the faith community are looking at it from the point that it's a property related issue and an issue of rental and the issue of agreement, whether the person should be able to stay in your place or not. And so I think the whole matter should not be much politicized, although it's a political party place. But it's an issue of someone acquiring a space to run their office or to live in place for you to live in. But it's an office matter. So I think people should be able to look at it from that perspective. So we are just looking at it from a space that if the family or the people who are even the CDC are acquiring the property, they can agree, find the seller. If they cannot agree, then the law they have gone to, let the law take its course and let the law come up, with the adjudication process, so that the ruling can come up, and then people can be satisfied with regard to the ruling and move forward. So I think it's a legal process, and let the legal process go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Wisa, are you back now? Mr. Wisa, you have to unmute. Okay. All right. So
hello.
Let's hear. Yeah, let's hear your thoughts on the whole.
Hello, Mr.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Okay. Now I'm getting you.
Okay. So what's your thoughts on the whole CDC headquarters drama?
Yeah. So as I was saying, thank you firstly for the invite again. Yeah, let me agree with my good friend Musa Kanen that this issue of political parties and having serious issue with their headquarters is becoming a very serious national concern. And I think it is an institutional problem. The people who follow the political parties do not really benefit from the political parties, except for the leaders. We saw that with the Unity Party. They had a very serious issue with their political party headquarters. Now we are seeing it with the CDC. And so I don't really know what to make of this, but the court has ruled that the CDC should leave the property because it is not theirs. If they want to buy their property, the owners have the right to decide who to sell it to. And the CDC, if they don't want to sell to them, they should just do the honorable thing to leave. There should be no reasons why somebody would want to insist to sit on another person's property when they don't want you there. So other grassroots political parties should learn from the CDC and the Unity Party.
Okay.
When you come to power, you should be able to construct your own headquarters so as to show that you are indeed a credible and strong political party, instead of hanging around in people's property and then later you want to fight for what does not belong to you. Yeah, so that's my initial comment.
the three of you, let me put it to the three of you. Again, we are hearing, from some CDC folks that this whole headquarters drama, it's something that also being advanced on the hands by folks from the ruling establishment. In fact, they are claiming that because it's happened to the ruling establishment, so the ruling establishment wants it to happen to the CDC as well. So they are also behind. Do you hold the view as well, Mr. Wiese?
So, I mean, anybody would think like that because we are in political times. But it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if you had a president who was able to acquire for himself 47 condominiums in just less than 2 years, and then you have that same political party was not able to acquire their own headquarters, it doesn't make sense to me. But then again, Liberia is like that. People will always believe that certain folks on the other side are trying to influence, what is happening to them. It happened to the Unity Party as well. People were saying they were being evicted from their party headquarters because it was influenced by the CDC back then. So also, the CDC will think that it is the doing of the ruling establishment. But in my opinion, it doesn't still make sense. President Weah had money, Samantha had money, they all have money, and they have their mansions for themselves. So why the political or party headquarters, even those of them who couldn't pay for a 15 one-room apartment, build mansions. So people should start shifting blames, man. Blame themselves for that.
Let's hold you there, and then of course, first to welcome Representative Smo Molba to the program, and then we'll come to him. But let's hear from you, Anton Alol Musa. Some folks of the CDC are blaming the Unity Party. They believe that the Unity Party is working underground or other hands to advance this whole problem that the CDC finds itself with the evictions on its neck, and they are blaming the Unity Party. You think that's are they justified in trying to blame these folks of the Unity Party?
Okay, I've always maintained that I do not believe in shifting blame. I've criticized the CDC in past for shifting blame on the Unity Party because they were elected to do the people's job. I've criticized the Unity Party government again for shifting blame on the CDC that shifted blame on them before. So I don't believe in blame game. If you are given responsibility, you execute it. If you have a responsibility, you do it. Unity Party has nothing to do with your failure to secure your own political party. Unity Party has nothing to do with your failure to do what was right. You had the opportunity because the Unity Party again accused the CDC in the past of supporting or sponsoring their removal from the Congo Town office. And I told him the blame game was needless. You failed to do what you're supposed to do. Why blame others? So even if the Unity Party was beyond it, it's because of the negligence of the CDC. It's because of the failure of the CDC to do what was right and just for them. So again, I don't believe in blame game. I'm men who take responsibility for my failure and then try to make amends. I don't stay around blaming people for my own errors. I don't stay there accusing people when I know the problem is me. I don't do that. And the CDC and the Unity Party should stop treading that line. Take responsibility and do what is right.
Okay, Reverend Dr. Christo, let's hear from you. They are he's off. Molba is on. Okay, let's try to welcome Representative Molba. The first question we want to pose to you is that there's an issue with the whole CDC Wahala. You on Capitol Hill, not far from. Okay, it seems that it's internet. It's giving him tough time. That's the aftermath of not coming to studio and trying to do the program from there. But you're listening to the Nighttime Heat right here on the Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are also streaming live on our YouTube page. That is the Nighttime Heat YouTube page. We are also streaming live on our Facebook page. That is the Nighttime Heat Facebook page as well. We are streaming live on or being relayed about Radio Gagema, Kwatiket, and Radio Wologisi. Again, you are listening to the Nighttime Heat. You've been listening to, trying to connect with them, but you've been listening to our guests. Let me hear from you, George.
Yes, I think Musa, what Attorney Musa Kane said, including Mr. Wise, they are all right. The truth is, the CDC has to go beyond the fray. As a government, as a party that ruled this country for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I am not in support of political parties being certificated by NEG when you don't even have your own party headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
People reign over the years. When they go to lose, they just in private properties. Even the government Liberia go rent private properties. This rental issue, Honorable Koti said here the other time, when he said example on IE and Barrow, all the years we don't have their own properties. The government of Liberia renting from private businesses. So the political party is bringing the government in power. The political party is renting. The government is just starting to rent.
Okay.
So this is institutional problem. I think it needs to be addressed. It's shameful. When it happened to the Unity Party, UP packed off night hours so that people could not see them living in the day.
Can you imagine?
People have been disgraceful. The CDC still trying to politicize what they are going through. The Supreme Court is clear today. In all the ruling today, they say the invasion orders on CDC stands. So there is no way nobody else to do. Nothing else to do.
That's the law.
We understand that the highest court reversed it. In fact, it was just confirmed by Antonin Alor Akanen, but he said he has not ready.
It didn't reverse the invasion order. The court ruling is clear. I read it. I said, well, legally, I didn't understand it.
Okay.
But it seemed black and white.
Okay, so let's see.
It was the issue of two family issue for property.
Yeah.
The way the lower court divided the property.
Okay.
The Supreme Court had issue.
Okay, let's see in the coming days what's going to happen. If the eviction order was reversed by the Supreme Court, we will see what's going to happen. If not, we're going to see again what's going to happen. Want to share the show? Share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, and your partners can also follow. We are streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are also streaming live on our YouTube page. That's our Facebook Nighttime Heat page. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. That's the Facebook YouTube channel. Now, gentlemen, let's try to get into our second discussion. And this has to do with the debate that's ongoing. We're hoping that we can get the picture of the fallen Minister of State. Let's put on the screen. The debate that's ongoing regarding who replaces the fallen Minister of State, Sylvester Grisby. We are gathering reports. We are hearing that his remains been letting that come to Liberia for some state funeral. The wife is contending that she wants the body to be buried in the U.S. The wife and children, but the discussion is still ongoing. But the debate's on as to who replaces. There are individuals, in fact, who understand whose pictures been on social media in recent time. There are people who are fronting for those people, and of course, they want them to occupy the position. We got a few names, and of course, we'll be asking all of us What do you think about this name? This person, what are this person is it's well suited or fitted for the position. You know who a minister of state is supposed to be to the president, somebody who's a confidant, and somebody who has the the capacity to function well, to run the office of the president. And so we'll be asking on these few names. And let's begin with you, Anthony Nalo. First, let's begin with you on the name of Councillor Samuel Kofi Woods, who's currently he's currently the national security ambassador, to the president. So, Anthony Nalo, let's hear from you. What do you think about Samuel Kofi Woods? Anthony Nalo? So yes. It seems that he's muted. He's muted. Okay, let's hear from you, Mr. Wisa. Let's begin with you.
Yes, so before I even go to my point, let me extend my deepest condolences to the bereaved family of the late Sylvester M. Gillespie, and to the Liberian government. We have indeed lost a great son of the soil. You know, I observed something when Prince Wyatt Johnson died. While he was still laying down there in the mortuary, we saw people posting pictures of those who they thought could replace the fallen senator. I felt offended by that, because in my opinion, it is not respectful to the dead and to the family. And so the same thing is happening here. I saw a lot of posts from different places. People are posting their friends, they're posting their bosses, trying to impress upon maybe the president to choose their relative. For me, I think that shouldn't be. But with those names that are emerging, honestly, they are all Liberians and they all have qualifications. So after the burial, President Bouaka, in his wisdom, will select the best. So for me, they are all qualified people. They can serve the country. It is just that they are doing it at a time when the Gillespie family and the Liberian people are still mourning. Yeah. So that is my only disappointment.
Okay, so you think Samuel Kofi Woods is also suited, right? He fitted for the position.
Honestly, Samuel Kofi Woods has been around for a very long time. He's competent. He's qualified. So I don't have any problem with Samuel Kofi Woods.
Okay, let's hear from you. Let's hear from Anthony Lord Musa Kane. Musa, are you back? Okay, Reverend To, let's hear from you, Reverend To, quickly. I think Musa is muted. Reverend To, let's hear from you. What do you think about the name of Councillor Samuel Kofi Woods?
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to say that to the family of the late Sylvester Gillespie, please accept our deepest condolences on behalf of the faith community, especially the Liberal Council of Churches. You have lost a great man, a state man, and I just imagine him most of the time, he has a smile on his face. So we have lost a very state man, and we want to say to the government and the family, please accept our deepest condolences.
Okay.
The issue with regard to the appointment of chief of Minister of State, it lies within the prerogative of the president. But if you ask me of my candid opinion with regard to their post, I would be able to think that the best person suitable for this position there are a lot of qualified female also, and I think the president should bring a female to the office, a female that has good public relations, who have relationship also with the different sector, the private sector, the public sector, the civil society, the religious community, a person who has a good public relations, who have good relationship also, character, and and a person also who knows the president and know how to get to the president, people to the president, and get the president to people. So I
Okay.
would think a female could be a good person that could come to that particular position for now.
Yeah, all right. Talking about a female, let me name Mama Capability. You think there was the woman who was ahead of the whole yellow machine, purchase and all of that. You think she's best suited? The fact that you want a female?
Yeah, I'm not looking at the personality here, but within the judgment of the president, I would not like to even suggest any name. But in the judgment of the president, I would think that he knows very well, as I said to you, that person should be a person that has the vision, of the president, have the mindset of the president. President is human relations, who has human relations, know how to relate to people. We don't want a monster in the office of the presidency that people cannot be able to access the president. We want people who have president who is civil society friendly, government friendly, international relations friendly, faith relations friendly, and all the things like that. We want the kind of character, and I think you can find a good character in this country. So it's not a matter of a particular person. We are talking about the kind of person.
Okay. Mr. We said, what's your take? Let's talk about Mama Capability. What's your take?
Yeah, so let me agree with the Reverend in the spirit of gender equity. I think the president can think in the direction of a female, for the mere fact that we have just lost a male in that office. But mentioning the name Mama Capability, I think the president will choose somebody who he knows very well, because that is his office. It should be somebody who knows.
Are you insinuating that Mama Ka is not known very well by the president?
I am not insinuating in any way, but when you look at the history between the president and the late Grisby, you realize that these two people came from a long way. So for you to have a president of state or a minister of state, should be somebody who you really know and that knows you very well, not because you came to power yesterday in the president's office. So the president should just appoint you to be his minister of state. The point I'm making, Soba, is that President Boubacar knows exactly who knows him and who he knows so well. So after this burial,
your point suggests to me that you are not in support of what Reverend Toll said, or Reverend Dr. Toll. Yes, maybe in support of a female, but not Mama Capability. That's what I'm trying to read from you.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, I am not particularly focusing on ability. My point is, the president will choose the person who knows him very well and the person he knows very well, because that office is his office. That's my point.
Okay.
It could be her.
In other words, you are saying that the president doesn't know Mama Ka very well. Let's hear from you, George. What do you think? We named two individuals. We haven't gone anywhere with the list, but we named two individuals. Samuel Kofi Woods, Mama Capability. What do you think about the two names?
I don't know Honorable Madam Mamaka Bliti very well. I just heard.
Are you
about
saying the
him
president
first.
doesn't know her very well as well?
I don't know. So, it will be somehow difficult for me to speak about someone who I don't know, because I may be saying the wrong thing. I think the president knows her. So that's why he appointed
Okay,
her
what's
as
about Kofi
the-
Woods? You know him.
Yes, very well.
Okay.
He's a founding member, funder, one of the founders of the JPC, and he's a progressive. He's a former student leader. He's a former human rights advocate, human rights lawyer, and a former minister of labor, former minister of public works, well experienced. Is he strong now to do the work? I don't know. I have not seen him for a couple of years, but besides his pictures, I haven't seen him physically. But in terms of his professionalism, his education, his background,
He's well fit.
He's well fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Experience wise, he's well fit as
He's
well.
well fit as well. I don't know how his relationship is with the president,
With the party as well.
with the party. And, I don't know that very well, so I can't speak to that. But I've been following his activities since the 80s.
So you are saying that you don't know Mamaka better, so you can't say much.
Yes, because
Okay,
I just saw her in the president's office less than 2 years. So
Okay, let's put forth additional names. We don't know also about former Auditor General John Molu, and also we heard about political commentator Henry Pedro Costa. Let me begin with you again, Mr. Wissem. What do you think?
Yeah, so the two names you just mentioned, like I stated earlier, they are all good Liberians with their own unique qualifications. I've had the opportunity to briefly interact with John Molu, and I realized that he is and he was a professional. There was this time when Liberian teachers, they were calling us recruited teachers. That was when I first met Mr. John Molu, who told us that in your own country, nobody should hire you, instead they should employ you. And that's how we became employed teachers back then. And so since then, I've had this respect for him. So yes, John Molu is qualified. We all know that. When it comes to the issue of fraud, fighting corruption, we know what happened in the Ellen government and even now around the world. So yeah, the guy is qualified. If the president decides to use him, fine. But from where I sit and from the lenses I'm using, the president may not look in that direction. Yeah. So, and then you talk about Petro.
Why are you so upbeat? What are you so upbeat? The president may not look in that direction.
So I'm saying from where I sit and with the lenses I'm using, I said that clearly. So you don't know where I sit. You don't know which lens I'm using. Yeah. Okay. So let's just move on.
Okay. Let's forget what you were saying. Maybe you don't want to express it, but let's talk about Henry Pedro.
So I repeat that from where I sit and from the lenses I'm using, I don't think the president will look that direction. But I say, look at Pedro, who calls the president his uncle. And we all know how close Pedro has been to the president until 2 weeks to the run-up when we saw him aligning with the CDC and then, taking the other side. And we all know what happened. And Pedro went silent for a very long time. And then later on, we saw them having reconciliation. I'm not sure whether the president can trust him now. You can forgive somebody, but you can be careful with the issue of trust. I saw somebody posted, Pedro is good, Pedro is that, but the president cannot trust him now. I also have that belief. The president may forgive Pedro for whatever he did.
Apart from trust, do you think he has the the experience? Has he working in the public sector before?
Well, for what I know, Pedro, for what I know, Pedro has not worked in government before. I don't even know whether you are working in private sector. Apart from the radio station, I used to see him operating. So when you talk about experience, I know. I don't think Pedro has that experience
Okay.
in
All
the
right. So
political. Yeah.
okay,
I think
let's
so.
hear from Reverend Dr. Christo. Reverend, we got two names that we're trying to look at as well. We heard we talked about the first two names, and we hearing also about former political commentator Henry Costa and John Molu. What do you think about those two individuals?
Okay, thank you very much. They are Liberians. And so about the whole issue is that office is a very delicate office. And
Of
and
course.
so we are not we are not joking. When we talk about governance and we want things to be happening, we want you want a person who will be able to have the mind of the president to get the president in the objective accomplished. That person is the person that runs the president office and manage the president. So if you get the wrong person there, the country will run the wrong way. If you get the right person there, the country will help the president.
What are you
Hello?
saying? Yeah, what are you saying? We gave you two names. The former Auditor General John Molu, and they will also give you the name of Henry Costa. But the experience was, education was. What do you think about those trustworthy was? Because the president should have a trust. He should be a confidant of the president. What do you think about those two
Yeah.
names?
So what that's what I'm trying to bring up the issue here. We are being Liberia. We have been following the history of the two individuals. Molu is a competent person, a person who stood for for fair play, accountability, and I know him. He's qualified, well qualified, and yes, but can he be the choice of the president? Can the president trust him? Can he be able to manage the president well and manage him well for the Liberian people to be able to produce the good that is expected? I'm not too sure. Costa, he was almost like a family to the president, and we saw how he stood with the president until it came to the place where he shifted. And and just like the previous president, what Anthony was talking about, and so when the whole issue of people shifting in politics, come to that level, and you can't start to besmirch people's character, it brings the whole issue of trust and confidence. So yes, people can forgive people, but at times people cannot forget. So as I said to you, and that's why I'm saying in terms of a peak, I would prefer they are decent female in this country who have good human relations, and I think the president should be able to choose one of them.
You're still pressing for female. Do you think you want to suggest for the president to maybe take the Minister of Foreign Affairs from where she is and take up to the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs position and find somebody for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Will you recommend that?
If the president deem it expedient, she's a professional. She's a diplomat, and she's someone who also can be able to relate to people. If the president see in his wisdom, fine.
Do you think she's close to the Unity Party? Because maybe the president should be also a party president.
No, it don't have to be a party president. The president just got to know that president and trust them, because that's the president that manages the president office.
Okay, let's hold you there. Let's go to Anthony Alol. Musa is not there. It seems that his internet is giving hard time. George, the two names, Henry and Molu, John Molu, the former editor and the former Auditor General, in terms of education, experience, trust? Do you think who do you think should be picked?
In terms of education,
Trust,
experience,
experience, yeah.
John Malo is vindicated. Likewise, Costa. But the thing is, when it comes to trust, that's where the question is. John Malo is a professional auditor. In my view, as a journalist or whatsoever, he has only one problem: his temperament.
John Molo.
Yeah, his temperament. He doesn't hold back.
Okay.
President Bouakai is a relaxed person in anger and in happiness. But Honorable Molu, even he couldn't even hold back when even he conducts an audit. And first of all, he came to the airport when an immigration officer allegedly asked him for tip, and he used it as example to say the entire country is corrupt. In audit, you don't do that. An auditor don't do that. But his audit reports were very.
So he
good.
has temperament problem. Okay.
Problem.
What's about experience? You think
Experience? He has experience. He's well educated. He knows his professional work. He is. But the individual, Ambassador Joseph Nimon Bouakai, people he worked with, he'd like them to follow his style of life.
And Molu will not want to follow.
Molu will not.
Okay, then let's talk about Molu.
That's where I think
Henry Costa.
Henry is far.
He's
far away. I mean, at least Molu tried. The truth is, yes, Henry's combative attack against Ambassador Bouakai started 2017 election. That was amazing. And when he called Imad Nukwe, Honorable Senator Nukwe, and the Bouakai ticket, a wicked ticket. Destroy. And that's it. At the end of the day, when the ticket lost the election, he went back after falling over the CDC, began to fight. At the 11 hours of the election, he came back and started disclosing information, even personal text messages between him and the current president. So the issue of trust. I know he holds master's degree in criminal justice, and he's a very smart young man. But right now, I don't think, looking at Ambassador Bouakai, who I started knowing him since I was a kid, 1986-87, I don't think the president can put him in his office. They could give him a job elsewhere, but in the president's office, I don't think so. Yeah.
Let's follow back. Yeah. I understand that former President Sirleaf had McLean in your office, right? Yeah. Another experienced and a well-versed individual. And then after McLean left, she brought in Grace Spade. Okay. So looking at former President Sirleaf, she's been looking at experienced and education-wise as well.
Yeah.
And not just but let's try to find additional names. We do have Cornelius Kora currently at the Ministry of State, Butcher Banking as well at the Ministry of State. Mr. Wisa, what do you stand? You think on Cornelius and Butcher Banking? Do you see any? Are they close to having the capacity, for the president to pick any of them?
Well, so, Sabar, I will continue to repeat this. They are Liberians. They are qualified people. The issue is about trust. If I were to advise the president, he will look outside of the Ministry of State. Yeah, like you were suggesting, or you were asking the Reverend about Minister Sarah Beslow. If I were to advise President Bouakai, he should take that lady in his office and appoint another foreign minister, because Sarah Beslow looks very, very much committed. She looks respectful. She looks humble. That Yeah, she's not organized. She can manage President Baka well. And in fact, I learned that the president knows her so well. I think they come from the same church. So that could be, a suitable person for that office. And then she will recommend another person of her kind to serve that Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In that case, President Baka had no issues. But if you just look at qualification and say, yeah, because the person is qualified, and you don't take into consideration the issue of trust. Look, Robert, when you look at Sylvester Grisby, look at where the guys came from. So somebody posted something when
Yes.
President Baka was serving as president of, I think, the Penal Council.
Yeah.
Grisby was there also working in that government. That's the kind of trust we're talking about here. So not just because you're working in a terrain so that it just make you consider. No, it's not like that. It should
But
be
you think,
smarter.
you think Cornelio Crow is not trusted? The Bushman Keita, he's also a lawyer. He's not trusted. They are all party people. You think? Don't you think they're not
Sabbath.
trusted?
Trust got levels, and that's why you should know. How old is Colonel Crown? And when did she start to know President Boakai? What does she know about President Boakai in the first place? So it is not because they're working together today. So President Boakai was, oh yes, I trust this lady. She can manage me. She can do this. For me personally, I wouldn't advise that. She should stay where
Okay.
she is, and we'll have somebody else to manage our president.
Okay. Let me ask Reverend Dr. Christo. Reverend Toll, you were trying to advocate for a female. You said the president should have a female to manage his office, to run his office. Cornelio's name has surfaced. Bushman Keita, who's the legal advisor to the president, also his name has surfaced. What do you think?
Okay, Sabo, thank you. They are female. I may not know that personally. President Bouaka knows why he appointed some people that even appointed in the president office may not be even the choice of the president. It may be sometimes recommendations, because government is all about recommendations. People coming from one end and other thing like that. The president got to study and understudy that person. Now, we are not involved in maybe campaigning yet, but just like the attorney said, and when you brought the name up, and if you ask me the names that you're calling, you asking the names you are calling, I think you have a professional name that has been called. I have been interacting. I've been trying to watch her. I've been trying to see her human relations and other things like that. I've been trying to see the respectability also she gave to the difference the community.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that it is worth noted. The president has his own choice, but if I was to be able to ask to recommend, and I would be able to say that is a good person, one of the good person that could be recommended. He could have other choices of his kind, but you could be able to have that person as one of those persons on the list that you could be able to pray to God for, to give you a direction to be able to make a decision. See, so most people that come to the offices are not people that go there because the president knows them and appoint them. But as I said to you, it's a political party. There are different parties that come together and people send recommendations so that people can be employed and have jobs. But this office is a very strategic office. It's not just about office or job, but it's an office of somebody who will be able to manage the president office well, for the forward movement of our country.
Okay. Listening to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. Let's try to bring out additional names that we are also hearing about. The party chair, the current chairman of the party, Reverend Ludo Tape. Reverend, he's from your your background. Also, the CSA Director General, Josiah Joker. They are all from the grassroots and all of that. So entrenched in the party and get the party ideologies. Let me hear from you, Mr. Wisa. What do you think?
Saba, you're trying to push us tonight, you know. But
What do you think of this Williams?
with
Is
all
that
honesty,
is that what behind the glasses? Is that one of the names there?
Yeah, I want to
so,
I want to
so
let's
you
hear
know,
from you.
yeah, one thing that I noticed about the party chairman is a person who has this spirit of delivering and making things happen. Since he became chairperson of the Unity Party, all we are seeing is just victory, victory, and victory. So I will give that to him. But again, coming to the office of the president to serve in the president's office, I wouldn't recommend the chairman of the Unity Party. I think that position of the chairman is unique, because he is managing the party properly. And so I would just suggest that he remain where he is. But with the young man, Josiah Jokai, I don't know how well President Baka knows him. I haven't met him before, but from what I have been reading and from what I have seen, I think he's a highly professional person, well organized. I think he's also humble. He could be a good fit, but again, does the president know him to the level that he can bring him into his office? It borders on trust. But for professionalism, man, I tell you no lie, that guy is highly professional because we work in our civil service for a very long time as teachers, and what is happening right now in that country is unprecedented. So I think the guy is qualified, he's competent, he can do the job, but it borders on trust. I know how
Okay.
well President Baka knows him.
Okay, Reverend Dr. Crystal, we just named Reverend Luther Tappe. He's the chairman of the party. He got that is politically entrenched. He got the ideology of the party. In fact, he's been heading the chairmanship of the party for some years now. We also named Josiah Joker, who's been carrying out a lot of reforms in the civil service. So what do you think about the both of them?
Okay. So if I want to recommend names, and as I said to you, preferably I would think on a female. However, if I want to recommend names, I will have 3 names to recommend. And one of the names that I would like to recommend is one of the names that you just called, Reverend Luther Tappe. And there's a reason why I would like to recommend that name, because of the humility that he brings to that office. I've interacted with him, even at the stage, at the time where even I was emotional with him based on XYZ. He was not using any high office portfolio, but he was just saying to me as his colleague, "Oh, Reverend, I'm sorry. I will get to you, Reverend. I'm sorry. I will get to you." We are looking for people who have the spirit of humility. And President Bouaka is a man of humility. He's a man of strength. He's a man of power, integrity. So you got to bring a spirit that matches. And like you're saying, you don't got to bring another spirit of someone who is too bossy. You got to bring us somebody to work with him. The president will have the spirit of humility and that person also is people friendly, who can be able to connect with people. So that spirit that he comes to the party, and that spirit become a win-win spirit. That spirit also is a good spirit. So I will put him on the list as one of the recommended person. If the president will make a choice, if you don't want to choose a female, it could be one of the person I will be able to recommend to have on that list. So I have two persons on that list. The other
Okay,
person you're
Josh.
talking about, I may not know him well. I may not know him well, but like the previous caller said, although you may know him, but the whole issue is that I don't recommend people that I don't know, I have not interacted with. Other people may know them, but I like to recommend people who I've interacted with and know them and know their level of relationship.
Okay, Josh, Reverend Ludo Tape, we also hear his name, Josiah Joke, CSA Director General. What do you think? Do they have the pedigree? Do they have the wherewithal? Do they have the capacity, the ability, the experience to help manage the president's office? And
They have all of those qualifications, competence.
The trust as well.
That's the trust issue. That's why it is difficult to speak for the president when it comes the presidency or the president when it comes to the issue of trust, because nobody knows who really he trusts. But in terms of if he wants his office to be up to standard, organized, he needs the type of Josiah Joke. Joke is from Lofa County, Sarai District. Joke is a nephew to the president. He was actually groomed by a lot of professionals, including James Formoyan from the National Elections Commission. He went now, he has gotten his PhD. He came back and he's doing a lot of reform at the Civil Service Agency. He's a very good guy. Reverend Toh said everything about Reverend Dr. Tape. He's a good man. Voila, it is good to take him from the party to carry him there. That's another thing. Voila. How well connected he and the president is, I don't know. But he's done a good job at the party. He's brought victory. His leadership has been busting, doing a lot of good things.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that is left with the president's decision. But I listened to Reverend Toh and Mr. Wise trying to recommend the current Minister of Foreign Affairs to go to that job. I will appeal to the president, Dawn. She's a star in our position. We need to win lots and lots that she spearhead. You are reading the delegation, the conference I'm going to. She's known worldwide as Minister of Foreign Affairs for connection outside there. The dividends to the country is just growing. She's a good person. She could fit in that position, but I will advise the president let her utilize her in that position. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, gentlemen, we'll shortly open the lines, listeners, so that you can also add your voice. We can get your take on what we're talking about. You can also weigh in on what we're talking about. But, gentlemen, let's look at one name. Reverend Dr. Chris Toh from the Council of Churches. He said, well, preferably, ideally, you want a female to go and occupy and manage the president's office. At the executive mansion, but this time we hear from Mr. Wilson first. He's an insider. At the executive mansion, we have one of the advisors, who's Magdala Cooper. Do you think she's well suited and fit to manage the office of the president? Can she serve as office chief of staff? Can she, does she have the experience, the education, and all of that? Mr. Wilson, let's hear from you.
Fortunately, Mandela Cooper is my sister, my Raji sister, so I could just say yes, But Sabal, when did Mandela Cooper come close to President Boakai? When? I mean, this lady had her own political party. She ran as president in that country, I think twice. It was just quite recently during this just in the election when they came to the Unity Party as a collaboration. And she was fortunate to have been appointed to serve as an advisor to the president. Is that enough for the president to now bring her into his office as Minister of State? Well, that is a judgment for the president to make. But like we are still saying here, going close to the president at that level requires real trust, real trusted person. I'm not saying she's not trusted, but I'm just looking at the history, where she came from, and how she got to that office, and how long has she been with this president. How well does she know President Bouakai? President Bouakai needs somebody who knows him, and somebody who he knows very well. Remember now, this is an old man that needs to be managed by somebody who understands him, someone who knows him very, very well. So, well, if the president decides to appoint Mandela Cooper, I'll be one of the happiest regime person, but I wouldn't recommend that. The president should look around him and choose somebody that he really knows and that knows him very well, not just because of political affiliation. You know, it should be something that is actually understanding. Yeah.
Okay. Let's hold you there. Reverend Dr. Christo, you've been advocating for a female. We've just named Mandela Cooper, an advisor currently to the president. What do you think?
Thank you very much, Saba. Like Anthony Weissel just stated.
No, he's a teacher. Anthony, sir.
Mr. Weissel.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the correction.
Thank you, sir.
You know, Mandela is a nice person. But sometimes some people are fitted in certain place, and you leave them where they are because
Sure.
they make their own contribution to where they are. And I'm saying that the president was strategic to make sure that where she is and she's doing what she's doing to be able to make the president office move forward. And so she well posted to where she is and she's delivering there. So I think, you need a team. And so, yes, she in her office, in the president office, and she followed that team. But I think, if you ask me to be able to have her on the list, no, I would not recommend her to be on the list, but she's one of the good team players that could be a part of the team, and, to work with the president.
Surely.
Okay. George, what are you saying? We want to open the lines quickly.
I agree with them. I agree with, I don't know. I have not seen her credentials before. She get an academic qualification. I don't know. But really, I love her. She got the kind of political voice. And when she speaks, I enjoy her speaking. I enjoy her motivation. And enjoy the spirit she comes with to the table. The rest of it is what the two guests said. So I joined them to just, I don't want to repeat what they said.
Okay.
Yeah. But
okay. Let's try to take a few calls quickly. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. Or better still, 0886 540 987. 0886 540 987. We want to hear from you. We've been calling a couple of names. Who do you think should be the one to replace our fallen Minister of State? Again, we've been calling a couple of names. I'm sure if you've been listening to the program, you know the names that we've been calling. Again, 0778 460 793. 0778 460 793. Or better still, 0886 540 987. Let's take the first caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Saba. How you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Let's hear from you.
I'm Joseph Fremont. I join you from Broadway. Let me say good evening to your partner, to your host, Dan Day. Yeah, you know, let me appreciate you for the platform and let me appreciate the guests tonight. What I've seen at the Ministry of State to put whosoever that there, I think Mr. John Molu will be the best suited person because that office, it need robust person and need person who soft or hard, not too soft, not too hard. Robust person, sincere person, like Honorable John Molu. Other than that, it will find it difficult because the person that passed off from that office, very professional person. So at least from here, I think John Molu can be suited for that particular position than any other person that you're talking about now. Thank you ever so much.
Many thanks also. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. Let's hear from you. 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. Let's hear from you. What's your take? We've been calling a couple of names that have been popping up. Do you support any of those names? Do you select any of those names? Just make it known. Let's hear from you. 0778-460-793. Better still, 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987. Or better still, 0778-460-793. Let's hear from you. What do you think we should be the pick amongst those names that we've been calling for the next hours ago? Let's take this caller quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
I'm Gabriel Johnson. I'm calling from Pussy Kuala.
Okay.
The best person for that office is John Molu. Very robust, very sincere. You don't joke. So we don't want people there, the Cornina Cooper Crash, Madeira Scopo, they put they are sincere people to President Bouaka. Because they seen people that President Bouaka appoint a advisor, they're not advising the president well. So John Molu will be the rightful president. He's a robust man, he's very sincere. You can't get passed by him. We act, being acting what he came for, this and that. Because most of the time we saw him in Joria region. For you to go see president, people have to say, oh, where you going? No, man, getting ring or around here. But for me, I think John Molu, because John Molu will be the sincere president.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's take the call on the line quickly. Good evening. Okay. Hello. 0778-460. Hello. 0778-460. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, cause how you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Let's hear from you quickly.
Really, if it was a different job, we could have take the car. But where he is right now, that's why he wanted from local, but what he's doing, nobody was thinking. Because he's already working for us in the state. So that'll take tomorrow, please.
Okay, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. The callers in the front, all the callers I've selected John Molu. 0778. Yeah,
That's why the president.
The matter of just a matter of trust. Okay, 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. Where do you stand? All the names we've been calling, who do you think should be the pick? Some of our guests said, well, the president should select a female this time around, a woman. In fact, some of them are even suggesting that the president goes for the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, let's hear from you quickly.
Thank you. This is Bill Smith calling from Satan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they are all qualified one way or the other when it comes to the position that we're discussing. But for me, like one of the panelists said, I think in recommending somebody, you must know the person, how they behave and how they live, how to bring people together. So for me, I think for the few times that I work with Dr. Luther Tapet, I think for me, if I was to recommend him, I think I would prefer recommending Dr. Tapet because I know I work with him every day. before the election, during the election, and after the election. Thank you.
Okay. Many thanks. We'll take three more calls. 0778-460-793. What do you think we want to hear from you? We've been calling a couple of names. What do you think? Let's hear from you quickly. 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, and you are live. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, and you are live. We're trying to put this caller in quickly. 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, I think I do my survey. I think the former president from Bapolo Amajara, he and the former president went before. I think that position will be good for it. They are into her before.
Okay.
That's my recommendation.
Okay. We didn't call Amajara's name, but he said that Amajara would be quite better for him. Let's take this other call in the line quickly. Good evening.
This Juma Amos Gizi calling from Pakopi Wukam.
Let's hear from you, sir.
Thank you very much for the topic. I believe John Moru is well suited for that position because we look at the same fight that Boka have, which is fighting against corruption, and we know the fight that John Moru have from early time up to present. I believe he will be suited for that position. He can advise the president very well. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. We'll take three more calls. 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987, or better still, 0778-460-793. Let's see this caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I'm Martin Dulu. I call you from a Puebla resident.
Okay.
John Moru will be the best suited for that position because he stay on corruption. He was the only person that looked him and said and tell the truth. So when you put John Moru there, you have better meet it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take two more calls and we'll wrap it up. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Better still, 0886-540-987. So far, all the callers been talking about John Moru. 0778-460-793. Better still, 0886-540-987. But let me hear from my guests quickly. Mr. Wisa, let me hear from you. You've listened to the callers. What do you think about the name? That the pig talking about John Moru.
Yeah, so let me first say thanks to all those who were able to and place in their calls, and they all expressed their desire for John Moru to be appointed by the president. But I don't know whether they've ever asked themselves why, up till now, that John Moru is not in the government. We saw during the time of the election, John Moru was one of those who ran campaign. He made sure to raise money using, different kinds of, techniques to raise money for the Unity Party until the Unity Party became victorious. But then what happened? Why they said that John Moru is not in the government right now? Why? The callers need to understand that. Like somebody said on the show, John Moru, and we all agree, is highly professional, he is robust, he is sincere, but he has anger issue. No temperament. When it doesn't go his way, he backs off. All right? So immediately after the election, John Moru was proposing that before somebody is appointed, let that person be vetted, then let there be a vetting committee. When that didn't go his way, the way he wanted it to be, straight jacket, he backed off. So now, if President Bouaka decides to choose John Moru to be his Minister of State in his office, You know, this is a very straight guy who doesn't bend things so easily. And that often needs a flexible person to work with the president, an old president, so to speak. So if things do not go his way in the president's office and he decides to resign just like that, is that what we want? No. We need somebody who is endowed with this spirit of humility, patience, to be able to manage our president. We don't need somebody who will be temperamental, somebody with anger issues, even though qualify. We don't need that. And John Maru doesn't joke. He doesn't joke. He backs up and leaves if it doesn't go his way. So I don't think we need that kind of person. Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear from Reverend Dr. Christo. You listen to the callers. What do you think about the name that they all been selecting?
Thank you, Sabo. And the issue of competence education is one thing. That office is an office, as I stated, should be an office of somebody also with good human relations, someone who is trusted, someone who can be able to relate to people. If people want to come, and how will you organize meeting for the president and that person is temperamental, or that person does not have good human relations, that person feel that they are the best president they have, the old education, and do not have a spirit of humility. So it's very unfortunate that when you're making your choice, you only look at the issue because people are educated. There are a lot of people who are educated more than President Bouaka in this country, but people did not choose him because of so much of education and other things. They chose him because of the integrity that he brings to that office, and they want him to be able to make the difference. And that's why people chose him. They chose him for that because he was a person who came up with, with a principle of trying to make the difference. He said it in the first election. He did not win. He maintained in the second election. He won, and he became to carry on that action. So he needs somebody that will be able to support him there. Now, somebody who comes to see the president and another person is angry with that president and say, you will not see the president. Let me just give you an example. The last situation we had in the past government, there were people also who were running the president, and people people wrote a lot of communications to be able to meet the president, and they never had an opportunity because those presidents felt, they never had good human relations. So these are things we're talking about. And then in the end, the president will be looked at as a buku man in the country. Somebody that don't care about the country. So it's not an issue of only competence or education. It's the issue of human relations, humility. It all counts, and the personal relationship with that person all matters. The person can be able to understand, can be able to look at the mood of that person and know when that person is happy and when they are sad, and how to be able to move them into the public space, looking at the condition. Not someone who will just be thinking on the book here and there, nothing like that. It's not what we're talking about. Yes, everybody can fight corruption. Everybody can fight this thing, but the most important thing is what we are talking about.
Okay, let me squeeze this caller in quickly, and then we'll go to Josh and wrap it up. Good evening.
Sabo.
Yes, sir.
Sabo, good evening. Thank you for the privilege. Sabo, I'm in Monrovia, and my name is Stephen Toby. So I listened to all of the panelists and even the callers. You see, so I want to agree with the panelists that the office of the Minister of State is a strategic position, and you need someone who has public relations, who have relationship with, will be open to the public. So like the Reverend said, you don't need somebody who wants to build a wall of Jericho, that when people of honesty wants to meet with the president, and then you're preventing them from meeting the president. So if I were the one, Look, there are a lot of good names that you people call, this night on the show. Yeah, but trust me, I want to take John Molu out of the entire picture. I want to take John Molu out of the picture. And considering the foreign minister, yes, it's very good. But again, to take the foreign minister there, then who are we bringing? We can bring the finance minister, then who will replace the finance minister as well? So it's a very strategic position, but I want to recommend this person. You see, that this person that most of us attention is not June to, and the person is right around the presidency already. Mrs. Maureen Yuma. She's the current executive chair, I think executive secretary in the president's office.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think if the president can have all, because like the Reverend talk about public relation person, somebody who is open, trust me, that lady is very good to be.
Okay, you made your point. George, quickly, so I can wrap it up.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone. I think we were brave to speak about the negative side of Honorable Molu, in as much as he's very professional. He's a technocrat, top notch. He has anger issue. And when he resigns, he won't go sit and keep quiet. He's going to start leaking information. So those type of things, if you do that, they are not correct. Madam Salif could not renew your contracts, and you left, started releasing a lot of information and other stuff as the Auditor General. So, I mean, if you're looking for anti-graft person to fight, go for Molu. But if you're looking for someone who has who is less temperamental and can manage himself very well, then you won't go for him. And the president doesn't like those type of people.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So, parting comment, Reverend Dr. Christo and Mr. Wisa. Let me begin with you, Reverend Christo. Your parting comment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Saba, for this show, and it's good to be able to get people opinion as regard to the office, moving the office forward. Peace be unto the artist, Minister Grisby, that he's no more, and peace be unto the artist. But I, for one, I was looking at who, President Blanca bring to that office. I felt in myself that he was not to be the choice, based on the fact that he was, he was part of the alternative national, I think it was ANC, right? Yeah, he came from the ANC, and even if that's your friend, for me, if that's even your friend, you know him for a long time, it's better you even support your friend in his, in his struggle. So suppose he was not going to be president, and someone else become president. So so for me, maybe they knew why he selected him and they reconciled the differences. But you got to be able to know people that stand there for you, people that were there with you, and you know their character also, and you know that they stood there for you and they have good human relations. These are the kind of people you choose, because also people will be looking and say, okay, but not people that support another person, or people that were insulting you here all around the area. You go and appoint them tomorrow. People will not take you serious.
That's a spill milk. Let's hear from you, Mr. Wisa, quickly.
So, Sober, it is always a pleasure being on the show, because we exchange ideas here for the benefit of the nation and for those who listen to us. So finally, before I leave the show, I will maintain that President Bouakai should look in the direction of Minister Sarah Beslow. She's going to bring him peace. That lady, as soon as you see that lady, you are happy. She moved with that kind of spirit of humility. And I believe when President Bouakai made that decision to bring her closer to his office, he's going to have peace of mind. He's going to have the best in that office. Okay. So, one of the names that are coming up, I just pray that my president will choose somebody who will bring him peace, and not just because the person can fight corruption or the person robust. No. We need somebody with that kind of human relation. So again, thank you for the invite, and it was a pleasure being on the show. Thank you so much.
George, for your parting comment.
Thank you. Again, Mr. Wise, I beg to differ. Please don't move my star performance for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She's one of my best, when they say best performer. Her international ties, her international relations, we getting the fruit from her contacts as a country. So we don't. I don't want to go keep all the big chief of staff to the president. I mean, I beg you. I know she's capable of doing it, but I know I ask the president to look around, take somebody that you trust, also that you can confide in. I know you can confide in her, but I want you to please look outside. Let her stay there and shine for our country.
Okay, so gentlemen, thank you very much for showing up tonight. Thanks to the producers as well. We are going on our weekend break, taking our weekend break. We'll be back, I'm sure, on Monday by God's grace. We'll come. A couple of national and international issues we'll also discuss on this program. Thank all of you for listening and also for viewing. We really appreciate your time. Until then, until Monday, Sabo George is my name, the head of the team. Have a pleasant time.